Yeah, I would say this is crucial part actually, because this is what keeps students interested. Not only that enables, learning, like they need to do something, program something, try, play with it. If they don't do that, like you get nowhere. You're just providing them some materials and it goes over their heads. But it's I think a great motivation. If they actually see, oh wow, we are detecting eyes on the videos, and oh, we can now make some interesting boxes, or maybe some artificial eyelashes, or some big gloopy eyes, whatever. It really engages them, and I think it's more important that they get some sort of motivation out of the materials.
I think the learning by doing methodology is very interesting for the students because they approach things in a very practical manner. And once you do something, you can understand better what's behind and you are prepared for a real world scenario. So, yeah, I definitely think it's a good approach. And as an advice for the future, I'd say that's very important to keep a good balance between theory, practice, and complexity because things can get bored if they are too easy, but they also can get frustrating if they are too difficult. So yeah, I think a good balance is very important.
I think these two methodology are the crucial methodology to implement in the best schools, and because it can be crucial in bringing the gap between the theory and the practice, as they prepare students for real world challenges.
We try to focus on practice and learning by doing, and not using the traditional method of teaching maybe theory and then some practice. Here we try to focus our teachings in making the best for the knowledge applied to an industry. So we think that it's a must, this kind of methodology.
It's definitely easier for student or better for student to work on a project on a topic that is interesting for him instead of listening to lectures, because if they are working on a project, they have to think for themselves, they have to problem solve, they have to work in pairs or in groups. That all benefits comparing to traditional teaching by just lecturing something.
We can actually program, we can actually see what the code does. We can implement it, we can change stuff, we can do anything we want.
I can learn faster with with this kind of stuff because I can see what I do, and if I do wrong, I know where I learn where I did wrong, so like I can correct myself and not make the same mistake again.
We normally learn to hand activity normally in class, and it's helpful because you sometimes found errors that in a controlled classroom you normally don't find.
For me, this way of teaching is the ideal way of teaching because we got a more practical experience. We got to learn our procedures to implement our software in our hardware, and in the end of completing our tasks, we get we can see our results in firsthand. We also get to learn the concepts and, as I said before, the procedures to complete.
Yeah, I think that this learning by doing is actually I think it's actually the most important thing to actually learn or the way how to teach people things in this current era, right? And especially, I would say, if it is really, I would say, goal-oriented. So not to take any tools away from people, but just rather give them goals that might, for their level of knowledge, they might actually be a bit ambitious, but then give them full support.